Africa Dictator. Desde Sudáfrica, la defensora internacional de derechos humanos, Catherine Constantinides.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Catherine Constantinides and I'm a human rights defender from South Africa. I'm also a proud member of the Sahrawi Commission for Human Rights Board, and I'm also an accidental Sahrawi. 6 years ago, I went to the camps for the first time, and on returning back home after that very trip, after staying in the camps for some time, I realized my life would never be the same. I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate the organizers of this Ukoko 2019, to the leadership of the team, the many people behind the scenes that we have not seen, to the members of the Polisario who are present and have been here engaging during the course of the last 2 days, to the leaders of the Algerian government at all spheres, and specifically to the communities of the Basque Country and Spain at large. This has been an incredible show of solidarity from the European countries and different communities who come together to support the people of Western Sahara. But it has also been an eye-opener to myself as a young African who comes from a continent that has allowed for our last colony in Africa to continue being occupied by a power who is also their own brother and sister. Much work needs to be done, and coming out of this, I truly hope that pressure will be put on Spain specifically to ensure that Spain sits at the table as a stakeholder that is responsible to ensure that self-determination happens sooner rather than later. Spanish intervention and responsibility is important, but also the responsibility of Africa and for us to ensure that the African Union plays its part and now stands up to the table to make a gallant stand to say that now in our lifetime we must return to ensuring that this conflict is ended. It cannot be that in 2019, with so much access to information and so much available to us, we still have a colonizing power who traumatizes a people on a daily basis through human rights violations and so many other horrific things that we know of that are taking place each and every day. The Sahrawi youth in the refugee camps make up approximately 75% of the population in the camps. I implore not only this forum, but many forums to come moving forward to ensure that the voice of youth take a stronger position, that young people are the ones who are going to lead the conversation because ultimately it is their future now that is in our hands. To the members of the Sahrawi different organizations, media outlets that I have met who are here from the occupied territories, I applaud you. Through the work that we do, we often, specifically myself, focus on the work that I do in the refugee camps because I cannot access the occupied territory. But it has been an honor and a privilege to hear your stories, your struggle, and your challenges, because we take those away with us. Stand in the Sand is a campaign that started almost 2 years ago. On the one side, it really fights to bring awareness of the plunder of the natural resources in occupied Western Sahara. We work with Sahrawis both in the occupied territory and in the refugee camps to highlight this situation. But also, something close to my heart that we cannot forget is that earlier this year I specifically focused on running the Sahara Marathon so that I could bring about awareness of the landmines that still exist. The landmines that are not spoken of because we don't see them. But to those who work tirelessly to support victims of landmines, to ensure that they are doing all that they can to also remove landmines, to the men and women on the ground, to the team from SMACO who are also present with us. In our lifetime, justice, freedom, liberation will be yours. To equip media and the many other media that are here, what you do is so important to tell the world what is going on. Please continue your work. Each and every one of us has access to a platform. It is our responsibility to leave here and to use those platforms to share truth, for us to tell the world what is going on. Because at the surface of it all, the media only tells the story of the day that they want to tell. We have to make sure that people understand what they don't know. And each and every one of us has a community, be it 10 people, 100 or 10,000. You have the power to share a story every single day. Let it not just be platforms such as Ukoko that bring us to highlight the issue of a forgotten people. Let us use our platforms to daily ensure that the Sahrawi cause is on top of the agenda. And lastly, to my Sahrawi children who are in the refugee camps, to the children from my family, my promise to you is that in my lifetime you will return home. And the gathering in front of me of people who are here will be standing in front of the first inaugural president of a free and liberated Western Sahara, where you will be able to bring up your own children in the land that belongs to you. I will tell your story, and I implore each and every one of you to do so. We have a responsibility to the Sahrawi people, and let us not fail, because we stand on the shoulders of great giants that have come before us. And as a South African, I know that my freedom came from the struggle, pain, darkness of an evil regime that was conquered by the men and women who came before me. Merci beaucoup, muchas gracias, shukran, to each and every one of you.